Hey everyone, I hope you all are having an amazing and blessed day out there today. I'm sorry it's been a little bit since I've uploaded. I've been very busy with the holiday seasons as of recent, but I hope that you all had an amazing and blessed Christmas. Hope you all had a safe one at that and spent some good time with your family and hopefully got some cool things at that too. But I wanted to make a video here today as a follow-up video to something that I did a long time ago. It's been a while and I can't remember exactly when I made that video, but it was a video where I showed all of the current light novels and manga for the Rascal Does Not Dream series. And at that time, it was very small because there was only a handful of manga and light novel out at that time. I think there's only maybe like 3 light novels and like 2 manga or something like that out. But wanted to make an updated video to that because as you all know, there is a lot more light novels out. There's a lot more manga out, and I wanted to change it too in the way of not only showing the English light novels and manga, but the Japanese light novel and manga, so you all can see the difference in how many they have released in Japanese format and as well as the English format, and how they release things for the Japanese formatted ones and how they release things for the English formatted ones, because the main difference with those is usually on the manga side. But yeah, I just wanted to explain it for people who may not know or may be a little confused because they see things and they're like, hey, why are there 2 parts of the Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai in Japanese format and the Petite Devil Kohai, stuff like that, but in English there's only one and it's a big book and stuff. So I wanted to go ahead and show you all the light novel, all the manga in English and Japanese. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So the first pile that I have right here are the Rascal Does Not Dream light novels, but in Japanese format. And then this middle pile that I have right here is the Rascal Does Not Dream light novels, but in English format. And then the top part right here, these little kind of books that I have, these are the Japanese manga for the Rascal Does Not Dream series. And then these big ones down here are the English Rascal Does Not Dream manga volumes as well. So let's start off with the Rascal Does Not Dream light novels in Japanese format. So there are currently 13 volumes out in Japanese format right now. The books, as you can see here, and if you've seen them in person in some way, if you bought them or something like that and got your hands on them, they're a lot smaller than what the English formatted ones are. They're just much smaller. They have much smaller text and pages and stuff like that. The content is pretty much all the same, you know, same sort of pictures, same amount of pictures and everything like that, and it's just mostly text. It's a light novel, but just in Japanese format. So here is the Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai one, and then we have the Rascal Does Not Dream of Petite Devil Kohai in Japanese format as well. And then we got the Rascal Does Not Dream of a Logical Witch, which focuses on Ryo Futaba. The Petite Devil Kohai, if you guys didn't know and you're just catching this and aren't aware or like super up to date on how the light novels are really formatted for Rascal Does Not Dream, the Petite Devil Kohai is the one that focuses on Koga's adolescent syndrome and her little arc that they had there. Then going on to the next one, which is the 4th light novel, which is the Rascal Does Not Dream of Siscon Idol. So focusing on Nadaka, my Sakurajima's sister. And then we have the 5th one, so Rascal Does Not Dream of a Sister Home Alone, which is the one that focuses on Kaede, Sakata's sister, you know, Panda Kaede, and everything that happened with that, which was very, very sad. But then we have the next one, which was the first part of the Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl movie. So the first light novel that was adapted into that movie. So Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl here, with Shoko Makinohara on the cover. And then we have this next one, which is volume 7, which is Rascal Does Not Dream of His First Love, which is, you know, Shoko Makinohara, the 2nd volume of the light novel that was adapted into the Dreaming Girl movie. So focusing on that again and all the sadness and heartache that that movie brought on. And then we got the volume 8. So volume 8 is what was adapted into the Rascal Does Not Dream of a Sister Venturing Out film that came out earlier in the year in June. And I believe that there's, you know, a little leak that's been floating around of that film. A lot of people are now being able to see that movie because of that leak and everything, because, you know, they haven't released the film fully in the United States or other countries and stuff other than kind of like Asia and stuff like that. But yeah, this is the Rascal Does Not Dream of a Sister Venturing Out, focusing on Kaede and just more of her struggles and things of that nature. So yeah, it's a really good read. I recommend everybody give it a read because it is the content that does happen after season 1 and after the Dreaming Girl movie. So yeah, so that is a very good one there. And then we have Rascal Does Not Dream of a Knapsack Kid, so volume 9, that focuses on a lot of Sakata and this little Mai Sakurajima and stuff like that. And it's a very, very amazing story. I really loved it. You guys should definitely give this one a read because the movie for that just recently came out. I know it's going to be awesome because the contents within this light novel it was just a really good read. Definitely recommend it. Before I kind of move on from this one, volume 9, this is the last one that completes the high school arc within the Rascal Does Not Dream series. So once this one completes, then they have like a little time skip and stuff, and it goes into their lives in a university, which jumps over to this one. So this is volume 10. So Rascal Does Not Dream of a Lost Singer, which focuses mainly on Uzuki Hirokawa, who is the leader of the Sweet Bullet idol group that Nadeca is in. And yeah, it is an amazing light novel. I love this one a lot. Uzuki Hirokawa is one of my favorite characters in the series because of this light novel and because of a lot of what we see throughout the story after the Dreaming Girl movie. It's really, really good stuff. I highly recommend it, so definitely check it out. Really cool stuff. I love the little chibi character designs that they have on the back of these light novels too. But yeah, good stuff all the way around. And then we have volume 11 here, and Rascal Does Not Dream of Nightingale, which focuses on the character Ikumi Akagi mainly, who is someone that Sakata knew back in middle school before he ended up going to Minagahara High and stuff, like before all the stuff with Kaede and stuff happened and adolescent syndrome and everything. He was there in middle school with them, so she's seen a lot of what Sakata really dealt with the adolescent syndrome stuff, people thinking that he was crazy and everything in the previous school and things of that nature. But yeah, she's a really cool character. This light novel, I would say, is probably my favorite light novel out of all of them, just because of the vibes and like the ominous feeling, and like there's just a lot that happens in the light novel that was just really crazy and really, I don't know. I'd highly recommend people read this light novel if you haven't already. It's really good. A lot of people before I read it were hyping it up, and it was just awesome. And yeah, so yeah, definitely check this one out. Rascal Does Not Dream of Nightingale. Here's like the little chibi picture in the back of Ikumi Akagi. And then we got here the next one, so volume 12. So Rascal Does Not Dream of His Student, that focuses on Asada Himeji, who is a student that is being tutored by Sakata. But here's the back side of it, of the chibi version of Sada Himeji. I don't want to spoil this one too much, or I don't know a whole lot about this one too much. I just know that she is being taught by Sakata now in some form, because Sakata had 2 other students, and now she is coming to the fray with being his 3rd student. But I know that she's got some adolescent syndrome problems that they got to work through, stuff that they alluded to in volume 11 as well. But I can't wait to read this one. I have not read it yet in English format because that is the latest one that came out, and I need to get some time to be able to do that, and hopefully we'll soon. And then we got the final Japanese format one. So this is the final volume that they have released as of right now, up until they release the next one, and it is volume 13, Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus, which focuses on Toko Kirishima. One of the books, or the book that I am very much looking forward to, the most anticipated one for me, in my opinion, because it focuses on Toko Kirishima, who is a very pivotal character, very hugely important character within the Rascal Does Not Dream series that pertains to things that are endgame level for the series, for the Rascal Does Not Dream series. So I can't wait to learn more about her. I can't wait to learn more about the things that go on within the world of the Rascal Does Not Dream series. So this volume is, I'm assuming, going to cover a lot of what that stuff is, and I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, so this is the final Japanese volume that we do have here for the Rascal Does Not Dream series. And yeah, so let me go on to the English versions of those, which should be a little bit more quick because we already kind of went through a little bit of them. They're just in English format. So we have the Rascal Does Not Dream version here. So Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. This is the English version. So it's a lot bigger than the Japanese ones, like I said. So a little bit bigger, you know, in English form, of course, and, you know, the text is bigger and everything like that. They still have the same pictures and things of that nature. But yeah, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. So I'm sure a lot of people have seen this in some fashion, more so this version than what the Japanese versions are that we do have there. That focuses on Mai Sakatajima's story that they had in the beginning of the anime, where it dealt with her adolescent syndrome. So we got this one here, show the little chibi Mai Sakatajima on the back. And then we got the Rascal Does Not Dream of Petit Devil Kohai, so volume 2. So just same thing, but in English format, like I said, the chibi version of Petit Devil Kohai Tomoe Koga. And then we got here the volume 3 in English format, which is Rascal Does Not Dream of a Logical Witch, which focuses on Ryo Futaba, one of the best girls in the series. I'd say best girl behind Mai Sakatajima. Then we got the chibi version of her on the back here. And then we got volume 4 in English, which is Rascal Does Not Dream of Siscon Idol. Let me show the back version of that here with Chibi and Nadeca. And then we got volume 5, which is the Kaede one, so Rascal Does Not Dream of a Sister Home Alone. And then we got the chibi version of Kaede right here. And then we got Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl. So this one here, the first part of what was adapted into the Dreaming Girl movie, with Shoko Makinohara on the front, and then Chibi Shoko right here on the back. Then we got Rascal Does Not Dream of His First Love, so the second volume that got adapted into the Dreaming Girl movie, with Shoko on the front again, the 7th light novel here in English format. And then we go on to Rascal Does Not Dream of a Sister Venturing Out, so the content that happens after season 1 and after the Dreaming Girl movie, that is a very highly anticipated for a lot of people to watch and a lot of people to read. So I do have streams on my channel here in like a little review and overview of this light novel in particular, and the 9th one and the 10th one too. So if you guys want to check that out. So yeah, here is Rascal Does Not Dream of a Sister Venturing Out, Kaede focused light novel again. Then we got Rascal Does Not Dream of a Knapsack Kid in English as well. So if you want to see the spine of this one here and the front cover of this, a lot bigger than the other ones of course, and the chibi version on the back as well. And then we got Rascal Does Not Dream of a Lost Singer. Again, one of my favorite light novels here that focuses on one of my favorite characters in Uzuki Hirokawa. Such a freaking fun character, such a bubbly, loving character. I love her so much. And then we got the next one. So this is volume 10, and the next one is Rascal Does Not Dream of Nightingale. Again, focuses on Ikumi Akagi, who knew Sakata back in middle school. So this is the one here. And then, yeah, I think the front of the picture is very telling of kind of how it is, because when I first saw this cover here, I was like, oh, that looks kind of creepy, like just the way that she's like looking down on you. I don't know, just the way she's dressed too. It looks very ominous, very creepy in some sort of way. But she's a really cool character. She's cool. But definitely check that out if you haven't already. And then we got Rascal Does Not Dream of His Student, which is the 12th light novel here in English form that I still need to read, focusing on Sada Himeji again, like I said. But this is the English version of it, and I can't wait to read it. It's going to be freaking awesome. I want to find a picture. I want to see if I can find a picture here of one of the a few pictures that they do have in the light novel. Oh yeah, and we have here Judy and I think Kento Yamada. Yeah, both of those characters are Sakata's students that they have. But yeah, super cool. Can't wait to read this. Definitely keep a lookout in the community tab, so when I end up doing my live streams to read volume 12 there. But yeah, those are all of the English light novels for the Rascal Does Not Dream series. And now we can move on to the Japanese manga that we do have here. So some of these are wrapped up, so they might look a little bit weird and stuff. I haven't taken some of them out of the plastic because I don't read the Japanese volumes, but I still keep them for, you know, collective sake and stuff. And this is the volume 1, part 1 of the Rascal Does Not Dream manga. So this is the Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, but part 1 of it in Japanese form. So if you guys didn't know, the way that they release the manga in Japan is that they have 2 parts of it. So they have 2 parts for each like story. So essentially, when you have the Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai story in the light novel form, it's only 1 book. And then in the manga form in English, it's only 1 book too. But in Japan, when they release the manga, they have 2 parts to it. So they have part 1 for Bunny Girl Senpai here, and then they have part 2 for the Bunny Girl Senpai manga right here. So this is the second one. So I'm sure that there's some people that have seen this in some way, saying that it's Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, and they're like, hey, well, I thought that this version was Bunny Girl Senpai. They are, but it's just in Japan, they release part 1 first, and then they release part 2, the second half of the Bunny Girl Senpai story as well. So again, part 1 of Bunny Girl Senpai in Japanese format, and then part 2 of Bunny Girl Senpai in Japanese format here. And they do that for all of the story portions. So like for the arc for Mai Sakurajima, the arc for Koga, the arc for Ryo Futaba, all of them like that. So we have here, the next part, we have Rascal Does Not Dream of Petit Devil Kohai, part 1. And like I said, they're a lot thinner, and there's a reason why, you know, when they make them in English format, they just combine part 1 and part 2 and put it into one big book, so that's why it's a bigger book rather than one that's kind of more the size of a light novel or something like that. So yeah, this is part 1 of Rascal Does Not Dream of Petit Devil Kohai. And then we got the part 2 of Rascal Does Not Dream of Petit Devil Kohai that focuses, of course, on Tomoe Koga. And yeah, so those are part 1 and part 2 of those. And then we have part 1 of Rascal Does Not Dream of a Logical Witch in Japanese format here. So we got Ryo Futaba on the cover there. I like the covers that they chose for the manga in Japanese. It's really, really cute. And then we got this one, which I think is a really, really awesome cover. Amazing, beautiful cover that we have for Rascal Does Not Dream of a Logical Witch part 2. So we got this one here with Rio Futaba. I love the colors. It looks amazing. You know, her wearing the yukata, I believe. Yeah, it's just really, really nice. And yeah, it's just awesome having part 1 and part 2 of Rascal Does Not Dream of a Logical Witch. So this, of course, covers the Logical Witch story. And then Rascal Does Not Dream of Siscon Idol is being worked on, apparently. I believe the last that I've heard of it is that they got, you know, it's been serialized and stuff to get worked on for the Rascal Does Not Dream of Siscon Idol story. For the manga, they've been doing it in a little bit of a different way too, in the sense of they have different artists working on different volumes of the manga. So they have a different artist for the Bunny Girl Senpai manga, and then they have a different artist for the Tomoe Koga, like Petite wa Kohai one, or the I believe they had a different one for the Logical Witch one as well. And then for volumes 4, 5, and 6, or the Siscon Idol one, the Sister Home Alone one, and the Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl one, they have different artists for every single one of those stories that are being worked on. Right now, like I said, the Siscon Idol one, volume 4 for the manga has not been really worked on or updated as of right now, and usually those artists that are working on those manga will put out updates on like the progress of what they've been doing. Like they'll put out the chapter that they worked on for this one and stuff, but I haven't seen any updates so far on the Siscon Idol one. Maybe I haven't checked in a bit, but the last time I did check, there had been no updates on any work or any updates for the Siscon Idol one. Maybe they're just not putting it out on social media and everything like that, but that's the last that I've heard of things, and they have not put out an actual volume for the Siscon Idol manga right now. But they have put out a volume and worked on the Sister Home Alone one, so the Rascal Does Not Dream of a Sister Home Alone volume 5, that focuses on Kaide in manga format here. So if you can see here, this is how it all looks, at least in some fashion. So if you guys don't know what the difference is between a manga and a light novel, a manga is pretty much just a comic book. So if you guys look at some of the pictures here that I've shown before, you see all the paneling and stuff that you would usually see in like comic book formatting kind of, but it just with manga, it's in black and white. And then for light novels, it's pretty much just a book, how normal books are, with it being nothing but text for the most part, and with a few illustrations sprinkled out throughout it when it comes to light novels and stuff. So if you see here, it's just nothing but text, like I said. Going on to the next one, so we have Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl, part 1 for the manga in Japanese format. So this is the first part, like I said. We have part 1 of the Sister Home Alone, and then part 1 of the Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl that have come out as of right now in Japanese, and we're waiting for part 2 for both of those stories there. And yeah, just take a peek at some of these little pictures that we have here throughout it. Here's the cover again if you haven't seen it, and then here's the back side of the cover with Shoko Makinohara and their little cat right here. But yeah, that's just all of the manga for the Japanese side of the manga as of current. And now we can finally get onto the last pile of books that we have here, which is the Rascal Does Not Dream manga in English format here. So if you want to take a peek at this, this is how thick the books are. So these are the omnibus books that combine part 1 and part 2 of each story into this big book here. So we have Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. So it makes things a little bit easier, so you're not searching for part 1 or part 2, or you're getting a little bit confused for certain people out there. And it's just one big book, Bunny Girl Senpai story here, that focuses, of course, on Mai Sakurajima's adolescent syndrome story that she had going on there in the beginning of the series. And let me go ahead and skim through some of the pages here so you can see a little bit of that, hopefully. But yeah, awesome. I still need to reread this. I haven't reread it in a while, but still, I rewatched the anime here and there and stuff. But yeah, still awesome. We got Bunny Girl Senpai in manga format here. And then we got Rascal Does Not Dream of Petite Devil Kohai, so volume 2 of the manga in English format here. That focuses, of course, on Tomoe Koga. Just the manga side of things, just skimming through some of the pictures that we got here. And yeah, so we got that one, and these 2 volumes, so part 1 and or volume 1 and 2 of the Rascal Does Not Dream series in manga format were the only manga volumes that we had for such a long time. It took them a bit to get out the Rascal Does Not Dream of a Logical Witch manga, because this barely came out back in November. So last month it came out on like November 21st, I believe, because the manga is a lot more behind than what the light novels are. The light novels, like I said, have 12 volumes out in English and 13 volumes out in the Japanese side of things. So, you know, they have more volumes out and available to adapt into the English format style and stuff like that. But for the Japanese manga, for a while, they only had worked up to volume 2 and completed the Rascal Does Not Dream of Petite Devil Kohai, and they were working on the Logical Witch story in Japanese format for a while, so you can't pump out English formatted Rascal Does Not Dream manga if there's no like original source in the Japanese side of things. So you had to wait until they finished working on the Japanese version for the Rascal Does Not Dream of a Logical Witch for them to, you know, translate it and put it into English format then. So it took a while for us to be able to get this one here. And like I said, they're still working on Volume 4 and waiting to peer updates of that, and they're working on Volume 5. Part 1 is already out, and hopefully Part 2 will be out for that soon. And for Volume 6, hopefully Part 2 of that will be out soon, because they already have Part 1 of that one out as of right now. But yes, this next one here, the last volume that we have in the Omnibus big English formatted book for the manga for the Rascal Does Not Dream series is the Rascal Does Not Dream of a Logical Witch, that focuses, of course, on Rio Futaba's story, that we have her adolescent syndrome stuff that was going on within the series, and it is awesome that we finally got an omnibus book for her story here, which is amazing. And yeah, it's just awesome stuff all around, getting to have all of these Rascal Does Not Dream stories in different ways, you know, in the Japanese formatted side for the light novels, Japanese formatted side for the manga, and as well as the English sides of those for light novel and manga too. And that's why I just wanted to show you all a little bit on how much we really do have of content for the Rascal Does Not Dream series. Of course, people can't read the Japanese versions of those, or at least a lot of people that probably watch me can't read those because you don't know Japanese or something like that. I know I don't know Japanese, so I haven't been able to read the Japanese formatted ones as well. But the fact that we have so many light novels as of right now in English now, before, like I said, when I made that first video showing all the light novels and everything years ago, there was only like 2 or 3 volumes out at the time in light novel format and 2 manga or something like that. And now we have 12 volumes of the light novel, and we got 3 of the manga as of right now. So really awesome stuff to see the progress that has been made within the Rascal Does Not Dream series. I could have only dreamed back then to see the parts of the story that we're seeing right now with the Rascal Does Not Dream of his student, or Rascal Does Not Dream of Nightingale, things of that nature. So it's awesome that we are getting these right now in English format, being able to experience new things within these stories with these characters that we do know and love. And yeah, I just wanted to show you all the updated amounts that we do have for all the light novels, all of the manga. Let me know what you guys think of the video. I'd greatly appreciate it if you guys did. I hope this video helped somebody out there, whether you were wondering how many volumes of the light novel are out currently in Japan or in English, or how many volumes of the manga do they have out right now in Japan or in English in some sort of way, or what are the differences between the way that they release them in Japan versus how they release them in English format as of right now. So you might be getting some questions answered in some way, hopefully, from this video, and maybe any questions that you might have had where you were confused on what the differences were on manga and light novels in general. Hope you all got some information out of this video, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure to give the video a like if you guys can. I'd greatly appreciate it, and also leave a comment down below letting me know if this video helped in some sort of way, or if you enjoyed the video in some fashion. I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. That would be amazing. And also make sure to hit that notification bell down below to get updated on whenever I upload a video, go live, or do any fun stuff like that. I hope you all have an amazing, blessed rest of your day, and I will catch you all later. See ya!